Hi, my name is Zoe Carter, and I'm going to be doing a tribute to my grandma today. So, the way I'd like to start this out with is what are your fondest memories of your childhood? What are things that have stuck with you? You could grow old one day and you're still going to remember all of those memories. Whether it be riding a bike or riding a roller coaster for the first time or learning your ABCs, and that might be something that is a memory to you. Well, for me, most of my very iconic, memorable things that I remember as a child were with my grandma. And my grandma was this beautiful light on earth, and she was able to show me how to be a woman and how to become a woman and learn how to be a young adult as I am today. And no, not to discredit my mother or anyone else. Everyone else has been great, but just the things that she had taught me has definitely helped me to be who I am as I am now. She sadly passed away in 2019. However, this is not going to be a mourning of her. This is going to be a celebration of her because that is what she would want. And so I'd like to start it out with my childhood, just a few key memories that I have from her. And the first one would be a bee sting. My one and only one bee sting that I've ever had was at her house. And if you don't know me, her house was right behind my house growing up. So we could just walk over to Granny's at any point that we wanted. And so I was walking back from her house when a bee stung me and I started crying. And her grandma's sonar ears were right there. She could hear me from the house. She ran out and she smokes tobacco, and so she took and unrolled a cigarette and put the tobacco on my ankle and said, "Is this what we used to do as kids? So I'm going to do it to you," and it works. So that was one that I remember, just because I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's putting that on me," but it was very awesome. And if I ever get a bee sting or have a family member that does, I'm gonna go run to the store and do that because that's the only thing that I know of that has relieved the pain like that. Another memory I have of hers is with butterflies. She would just have butterflies all around the house at all times of days, night, morning, it doesn't matter. So me and my family, we would help, like we would catch little butterflies and let them go, and like let them land on our finger and take pictures with them. It was really awesome. And then the other biggest memory I have is she taught me how to ride a bike. And I was just a scaredy cat. I didn't want to get on one. And she was like, "You're going to have to do it eventually. Just get on. I won't let you fall." And if I knew anything about her, she was always going to be there for me. She wasn't going to let me fall, which she didn't. So she taught me how to ride a bike, and she also helped teach me how to drive a car. My mom was a little scared about me driving. She would let me drive about 2 minutes away from home and 2 minutes back, but my grandma would let me drive to Goldsboro for her, and she had a lot of faith in me with that as well. And so she was just always very welcoming, and she always had open arms for her grandkids. So that is that part of that. And then as far as her perspective goes, to her we always came first. There was a hurricane and I was stuck at work one day, and it was the big hurricane, Hurricane Matthew, I believe. And she does not drive in the dark. She hates it. She could just never do it. And she was like, "Zoe, if it comes down to it, I'm driving and I'm going to go get you. I don't care. I'd rather me drive than you," because I was a fresh 16-year-old with a fresh license. So she did that for me. And then she always just supported us. She always wanted the best for us. Anything we needed, she would do. If we needed $20 for gas just because we were 16 and we didn't have it, she would dish it out, even if it was the last $20 in her pocket. She had just the best personality, and that pulls me into my next point of everyone had good things to say about her. You never heard anything bad. She was such a bold woman. She knew what she wanted. She would go and get it. She was so ambitious, so stubborn, and I definitely got all of that from her. She never took no for an answer, and if she wanted to do something, she was going to do it, and she would figure out ways to do it. And so I really take a lot of my adulthood into account with her because I carry all of those traits, and I feel like a lot of those traits have gotten me to the successes that I have today. So I'm very thankful for that. And then even at her funeral, I don't know how many funerals everyone's been to. I've been to a few, and you see a few people here and there, but she had probably 300 people show up to her funeral and her wake, and it was just crazy to see all these people had so much care for her, and their hearts were full because of her, and they would make her, or she would make their day. She would come into work, and all of her people she worked with, even though she was retired, came in there and talked to us and just talked about how great of a woman she was. And so that just only solidified more how much she actually put into other people, and she would give her kidneys, she would give anything just to make sure everyone else had what they needed around her. And I just believe she is the best role model. She is one of the best people that has walked on this earth, in my opinion anyways. So to conclude all that, a lot of my good memories are because of her. I appreciate everything she's done for me. Without her, I don't know who I would be and where I would be right now. And I just appreciate how much she's done for me in this world. Even though she's not here today, everyone still talks about her, thinks about her. She's just left such a lasting impact. And I know that whenever I end up having children and they have children, I will be letting them know that this is your ancestor. This is somebody who has given you all of these footsteps and traits that have made you who you are today, and I'm going to carry that through to my generation as well. So that is all today, but I do want to just reiterate that this was a celebration to her. I do not mourn her because that is not what she would want. She would want a celebration of life. So, yes, thank you.